This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome. You are in the lab room. Of course, I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. Week number 5 in the National Football League. San Diego Superchargers taking on the New York Jets. Jets, Jets. Uh-oh. We got a problem on our hands in New York. We don't know who to play at the quarterback position. Rex Ryan sticking with Geno Smith for an extra week. That wouldn't last very long in this game, but didn't make much difference. The switch to Michael Vick at the half didn't really have an impact on the game, so we'll see what happens moving forward. But let's talk about this football game. The red-hot San Diego Chargers hosting the lowly New York Jets in this game. And I thought that the initial drives for both teams in this game were indicative of what these teams have been doing leading up to this game, and I thought they were tone setters for the entire game. Jets come into this game struggling offensively. They don't know if Geno Smith is the guy or not. They want to give him another shot, and they got, I think, maybe a first down on that first possession, and then they had to punt the football. Meanwhile, the San Diego Chargers get the football, and they're one of the hottest teams in all of football right now. Not only on the offensive side with Phillip Rivers and company getting it done, but also defensively, they're playing some outstanding football. So they get the football, and their first possession is chocked full of third downs. Yet Phillip Rivers and company, they convert these third downs each and every single time as they work their way methodically down the field and get in the end zone on an Antonio Gates touchdown grab. The OG 85 gave him an old man shimmy shake, got to the corner of the end zone, and he was wide open, and it's 7-0. And that to me was indicative of how this game was going to go. It was an omen of things to come for the San Diego Chargers and a bad omen for the Jets. And the thing that I noticed between the two teams, and a distinct difference that you notice, is that when it's 3rd and 3 for the Chargers, they're looking to get 3 yards. They're looking to pick up 4 yards. They're looking to pick up 5 yards. Geno Smith on 3rd and 3, and this happened on the first possession. It was 3rd and 3. Geno Smith wants to chuck it, 40 yards down the field to David Nelson. Why? You need 3 yards. Keep the possession alive, pick up the first down, move the sticks, afford yourself 3 more downs to move the football down the field. Why are you looking for the home run? Your offense isn't good enough to do that right now. So that's the stark contrast between these two teams. You look at one side of the field and you see the Chargers methodically moving the football down the field and getting into scoring range and then depositing the football into the end zone. Meanwhile, the Jets are looking to hit home runs, and they're not that type of football team. So either way you slice it, the Jets fell behind early in this game. The Chargers took advantage of the Jets and their inability to move the football down the field. The Jets didn't cross midfield in this game until we're in the 4th quarter, and they needed a pass interference to do so. I mean, it was a dominant performance by the San Diego Chargers. Is it me, or does a number 43 in San Diego look like another 43 that used to be in San Diego? Or is that just me? Brandon Oliver looks, stature-wise, just like Darius Sproles, and he plays like him too. Now, I'm not going as far as to say that he is Mighty Mike. Look, we know that he's a special guy unto himself, and he does some things in this league that few, if any, can do. But Brandon Oliver looked really good in this game, and he got an opportunity. Donald Brown went down with a calf injury, and so basically the reins was his, and he took it and he ran with it. There was one play, and this play to me defines Phillip Rivers in a nutshell as to how gritty, how tough, and just how much of a competitor he is, and just how good he is. I mean, again, I said this about Brandon Oliver just a few seconds ago. Few, if any, quarterbacks in the league make this play. And we saw this. I want to take you back a couple of games to that win against the Seattle Seahawks in week 2. Remember that play in the pocket where Phillip Rivers is under duress in the pocket, and there's a Seattle Seahawks defender going by as Phillip Rivers is trying to rehitch himself, and a Seattle Seahawks defender gets his hand on the football, and Phillip Rivers rips it away from him, readjusts himself with limited space in the pocket that's collapsing, and throws up a perfectly thrown football towards the corner of the end zone to Antonio Gates in about double or triple coverage in the only spot that football could have been. And to me, that showed the pocket awareness, the pocket mobility, and the pocket toughness of Phillip Rivers, not to mention the feathery soft touch that he has and that exists in his game. And you saw some of that again on this particular play. Phillip Rivers is in the pocket. The pocket is starting to go around him, and a Jet player gets his hands on the football. Phillip Rivers is able to wrestle the football away from him. As he's backpedaling, he locates Brandon Oliver, throws it to him as he's backing away, and it ends up being a huge play. Oliver gets down the sideline, makes a couple of Jets miss, en route to about a 47-yard gain. It set up another touchdown by Antonio Gates in this game. And to me, that epitomizes Phillip Rivers and his game in a nutshell. I talked about if I needed to go into a dark alley with a quarterback in this league, I'm taking Phillip Rivers with me because I know Phillip is going to have my back, and this kid is tough as nails. And I love Phillip Rivers, man. I think the world of him. And you saw what he brings to the table in this game, and he was dominant once again. The defense, I was impressed with the defense. They smothered the Jets. And a lot of times when you play a team that's struggling like the Jets, it's easy to get complacent. It's easy as a defense to say, hey, this team isn't any good, and kind of take it easy on them. And next thing you know, you look up and you're in a dogfight. The Jets did no thing like that in this game. They came out and they dominated this Jets offense from the opening snap to the final whistle, as the Jets scored no points in this game. Brandon Flowers had an interception. They harassed Geno Smith, sacked him a couple of times. They harassed Michael Vick, sacked him a couple of times. They stymied the run game for the most part. Chris Ivory, I thought, had a couple of good runs, but they were few and far between. They really dominated the line of scrimmage in this game, did the San Diego Chargers on both sides of the football. I thought they had a really good rushing day. Oliver had some good ground games. So did Donald Brown when he was in the game. So I thought they dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides of the football. And the Chargers, right now, they look like the class of the AFC. And, of course, it's hard to say that with them having not played the Denver Broncos yet, but that's going to be fun to watch those two teams battle it out in that division. That's for sure. But the Chargers get it done in convincing fashion, 31-0. They dominate every facet of the game, even special teams. Their special teams unit got down the field and was tackling Salim before he could even get started. C.J. Ajira-Tutu had a beautiful tackle in the open space, tackled him down around the 12-yard line or so. It was just a beautiful performance in every single facet of the game for the San Diego Chargers as they dominate this game, start to finish, 31-0. And now they got to go on the road and take on the Oakland Raiders, who are feeling a little invigorated. New head coach coming off of a bye week. That could be a trap game for the Chargers. Hopefully they don't get caught up in what could be a huge trap in week number 6. For the Jets, it's going to be a long week. And they got some things to do. They got some soul searching to do. Figure out who's the guy you're going to roll with moving forward. Is it going to be Geno Smith? Are you going back to him? Or are you going to keep Michael Vick in the game, who you went to after the halftime break? Look, I feel like if given a full week of practice and being told you're the guy, I think Michael Vick will perform a lot better if he were given the job as the starter and have a full week of practice versus, hey, you're in at halftime. You haven't gotten any snaps during the week. Good luck. I think it's just a tough situation. And the Jets already don't have a lot of options to throw the football to, and they were missing Eric Decker in this game. So that didn't make it any easier on their offense. And so hopefully they'll figure out some things because they looked borderline incompetent in this football game. They looked anemic, and they got a lot of things to clean up. And It's bad because the defense in New York isn't that bad, but because the offense is a train wreck, it's starting to affect the defense negatively. And they've got a lot of work to do in New York as they're blanked in this game 31-0. And they got, of all teams, the Denver Broncos coming to their place in week 6. That's going to be another tough challenge for this Jets team, but they're going to have to figure some things out in order to get back on track. That's going to do it for this review of Jets Chargers. I thank you for joining me. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Come back and join me as I've got one more game in week number 5, the National Football League, to break down. And don't forget to check, coming up very shortly, the NFL Power Grid, which is essentially the NFL Power Rankings here in the lab room. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Like the content? Want more? Sub up.